Chip because I'm really excited for this. He's talking food, but you're talking about, I don't know, like probiotic type stuff, fermented
Yeah,
food?
exactly. You guys are questioning whether this will be a good show. Well, I have not only good taste and good information, but good health. So
Well,
fermented foods, you're thinking about like sauerkraut's probably the most well-known one of those. But then kimchi, I know, Angelica, you
I love
as the
kimchi.
foodie, have probably had that. There you go.
Yes.
And that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. And then the health behind that, the taste behind that. It just so happens that there is a local company, really a local guy, who has created his own line of fermented food products. He's only been at this about a year and a half, and already it's exploded. He is in a dozen different places that you can go and buy his stuff. He just moved into the location we're at now. So that was the gingered carrots. That's the sauerkraut right here. We're going to give you some recipe ideas. There's the kimchi. Don't worry, we'll cover all of it throughout the show. How it's made, why it's good for you, why that noise when you open a container that sounds like it's bad actually means it's really good. We'll explain it all, and I'll do some taste testing for those of you that are questioning the quality of this. Hopefully you know I don't lie about things when I try them on air. So I will give you a very honest opinion on these delicious, well, supposedly delicious, I guess I'll find out later in the show, fermented foods.
Awesome, Chip. Thank you.
For us too. Check in with Chip, who is looking more internally.
Yes, very internal. I mean, this is like as internal as you can get your gut, your stomach. Don't show my stomach, that's just weird. Okay, well, we are talking the positives, things that you can put in there to help you out. And to help us do that, I have got Jeff here. And Jeff, you founded Zymbiotics, local naturally fermented food company, just like a year and a half ago, right?
Correct.
Why did you start this thing up in the first place?
Well, my girlfriend Betty Holloway is a registered dietitian, and we enjoy cooking together. And one night we were cooking, and she was talking about the health benefits of fermented foods, and that she felt that it had a good business potential.
Oh. And you, being the entrepreneur that you are, just kind of jumped on that, did your research?
I did. Within a couple weeks, we were actually making our first batches.
Oh, cool.
Week after that, I was registered for a local farmers market, the Fox Point Farmers Market.
And it just took off from there.
It has.
I mean, up to the point, which is really neat, we are in your new facility that you're renting out, and like you moved in here like yesterday.
Yeah, the paint was wet on the floors 2 days ago.
There you go. But it's cool because now we've got our production manager, Chad, here, and we're actually able to show how you do this. And so he's making the simplest recipe. Why don't you just talk us through as he's putting it together?
We're going to be shredding carrots, and then we're going to take the carrots, we're going to add ginger, a brine water, which is just salt and water.
Okay.
We massage them to get the juices out.
Okay.
And then we put them into a fermentation bucket with weight so that it's in an anaerobic environment.
And explain that really quick.
Anaerobic environment is without oxygen.
Okay.
And that what we're trying to do is facilitate the right environment for lactobacilli to multiply. That's going to convert sugars and starches.
You really have learned your stuff.
Convert sugars and starches into lactic acid and enzymes. So the benefits are it aids digestion, it helps your immune system, and there's research that indicates it reduces anxiety.
Now, I'm really surprised at just how simple this recipe is. This is the Jeff's Ginger Zeritz, and Z is because, well, Zymbiotics, but then your last name Ziebelman, so you get your own little twist on there. But that's it. Everything that you just talked about, that's what goes into making this.
In that particular one, that's our simplest.
But we do have some other ones, and so I wanted to bring these up, even though we're not going to see these made. Sauerkraut, why don't you hold that one? That's probably the most well-known of fermented
Correct,
foods.
and we have a local farmer that produces our cabbage, Ed and Diane Westra. So, you know, we try to source as much locally as we can, the jars, the labels, everything.
And I imagine there aren't too many local fermentation food companies to begin with.
No, it's pretty much a niche market at this point, but it's expanding. There's a lot of research coming out on a daily basis, which is indicating all the health benefits.
And then two other products that you're making right now, at least, and that is the Zymchi, #1, and then the vegan Zymchi, #2. So same kind of thing, fermentation, positive health, all this good stuff. Coming up next, so we want to continue the process for you guys. So we are going to take you back to where all that fermentation magic happens and show you just how you know when the fermentation has reached its peak.
That sounds good. Chip, you might have said this already. Where can you get it? Do you have to come to the store?
There's a number of places. We actually found the products when we went to Good Harvest Market a couple of weeks back. But if you go to fox6now.com and click on links, that'll get you the full list of information. How many stores are you in at this point?
We're in 54 locations and expanding.
54 and expanding. And the product line soon to expand. We'll explain that as well coming up next.
All right. Cool. Love it. Thank you, Chip.
It tastes good, and you're making your gut feel better.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, you know, so many people talk about, oh, I feel bloated, I feel this, I feel that, you know, and especially after that Thanksgiving meal. This might be the time. Could you tell I was kind of shopping on air there?
I'll take
I'll take two of those and three of those.
Welcome back to Real Milwaukee. We're hanging out this morning at Zymbiotics. It is a relatively new company, all started by one guy right here in the Milwaukee area, and they focus on naturally fermented food. So we were showing you earlier how the process comes together. It's a pretty simple thing, but the real trick is this room. So these are 5-gallon containers where the fermentation is happening. And Jeff, I want to bring you back in now. This is the secret right here.
Well, controlling the environment is the main thing. So the temperature.
So this room is a very special, I mean, you got the right kind of temperature in here.
Correct.
And all the variables, if you will.
Right, trying to control the humidity, the temperature, to keep it as clean as possible.
Okay.
So that you're, facilitating just the lactobacilli.
So how do you know when it's done then? Is it like, 7.5 days and we're good?
Right. It's a natural process. I wish it was that easy. So we go by taste, texture, color, and then we use a pH meter.
Oh, okay.
Which we calibrate, and then we put it into the bucket.
So this is an example. This is that carrot ginger.
Correct.
What do you call it?
This is ginger Zaretz.
Zaretz. That's
Right.
where the Z is. I like that you put the Z on things. So okay, so you have your pH meter, and what's happening?
And then we're going to see that the pH is in the range that we're looking for.
Okay.
And so at that point, when it's done, then we're ready to pack it.
And I mean, is that as simple as it is? Packing it up and it's kind of ready to go?
Correct. Well,
cool.
there's a little bit of process.
So does it ever stop fermenting?
The fermentation process continues by refrigerating it. We're going to slow the fermentation process down. We're not actually going to stop it.
Okay.
So a lot of people are surprised when the jars bubble.
Yeah.
They can either
well, that's what I was
bubble
going to
up
ask.
a little bit.
Because there's so many products out there that are not supposed to make that noise. That if they bubble or if they release air, that means they're bad.
Correct. This process is, generating carbon dioxide. So when you open it, a good fresh product is going to have air coming out, not vacuum sealed, heat treated, where the air is sucked into the vacuum.
So in that same token, then I bet it has a pretty long shelf or refrigerator shelf life.
Correct. It will last for years. We date it at 1.5 years, but it can last longer.
That's just safety purposes at that point, right?
Correct.
Okay. Can we open up another bucket? I just want to see. Like, can I show them what's in here?
You could.
Is that? Am I allowed to? I don't know. I don't give anything away. I just thought
And he
this
gave
was
you the
neat.
look like, no.
What's that?
What is
Well, the reason, so this is what you were talking about, is weighting it down.
Correct.
So that way it doesn't get any exposure
Under
to
the
oxygen.
liquid.
Yeah, so you can even see, there's the liquid layer, and then here is this the sauerkraut that is in this
Correct.
bucket? There you guys have it. So that is the process on how Jeff creates all these Zymbiotic fantastic products. I wanted to bring up really quickly, you're looking to expand the line.
Yes.
What's coming up next?
We're going to be developing a beet product.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Anything else on the horizon? Or anything else you're hoping for?
Well, we're expanding. We'll be doing sales in Madison soon.
Oh, and
in northern
geographically, too.
Illinois. And we'll be starting internet sales.
Fantastic. Now, you may be asking yourself, what can I do with all of these delicious, healthy for me fermented foods? Well, coming up next, we have our own dietitian on location today, and she is going to be diving a bit more into the health benefits of it, as well as some of the dishes that you can create from these things.
Okay,
Sounds
good,
good.
because I was just going to spoon it out into my mouth, and that didn't sound all that great.
Yeah.
You could do that too. Totally fine.
We were talking, is fermenting the same as pickling? Are those like different?
Is fermenting the same as pickling?
No. A pickling is an acidified product, so they're going to use either vinegar or some acidic base. A lot of the sauerkrauts, if you see them in the markets, in jars, non-refrigerated, are not a natural product, so they do not have the same health benefits
Interesting.
as ours.
Oh, we are learning so much today,
Yes,
guys.
we are.
So much.
Thank you, dear. Wow. That maybe Zymbiotics would help you.
That might help.
That's very true. There are a lot of good choices that you can make, including eating more fermented foods. Naturally fermented foods, good for you. Now, you guys had the show's dietitian on. Now we've got Betty here, another registered dietitian, to talk about fermented foods. And Jeff kind of mentioned it downstairs. You were actually the one that kind of helped develop this idea because you guys were cooking together, and you said there's a lot of stuff coming out about how this is good for you.
Absolutely.
So why is it good for you? We haven't really dove into the why.
Okay, well, our microbiome, for example, is 10 times more of us than there are human cells. So there's 100 trillion little microorganisms running around inside of your gut.
What?
And yeah, they have a huge influence. About 60% of your immune system is dependent on your microorganisms.
Wow.
And they help pre-digest your food and give you all your complement of B vitamins. B12 is actually made by the microorganisms.
So
vitamin K.
long story short, all of these organisms inside of us should be there. They're good for us. We should be helping them, not trying to hurt them or get rid of them entirely.
Actually, we want to create a bigger diversity.
Oh, we want more.
We want a lot of variety.
Wow.
And actually, most Americans are eating about 75% refined foods and only 25% whole foods. And this is creating a problem because we're getting more inflammation. We're getting more of the bad guys.
Interesting.
The less beneficial bacteria.
Yeah.
But since it's such a competitive environment, we want to really increase the quantity of things like lactobacillus and bifidobacteria.
Oh, there's those big words again. Now
Yeah.
let's get to the food itself.
Okay.
So as we saw, it's a very natural process, and you have created some natural dishes out of them. This is the kimchi dish, and it looks like you made a cool dip out of it.
That's right. We can grind it up for people that don't think they might like kimchi, but do
which I think
like
is most of the people listening to this right
goat
now.
cheese. Try this.
It's a goat cheese kimchi dip?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna do all the taste testing at the end of the show. I just want to show people what dishes
Okay.
we have.
We-
So this is using the sauerkraut.
This is a sauerkraut salad. Most people don't think of it as a condiment in that
Yeah.
way.
No.
But actually it becomes...
Where's the brat? That's what I'm saying.
It becomes the salad dressing when you put a little olive oil on it. So this is a great way for people to get their 2 tablespoons of fermented foods daily.
And, so that's the suggestion is 2 tablespoons daily?
Right.
Okay, so we've seen the dip, the salad. What are these? I see the
These-
carrots next to them.
Yeah, I think you saw the ginger carrots being made.
Yeah.
And these are energy balls that are fantastic because they're raw, so that means that they still have all the properties of the live bacteria.
Oh, cool.
They're created with nuts and coconut and dates, chia seeds and oatmeal.
I'm excited to try that
that.
one. We
It
have
tastes
a lot
like
more
carrot
Real
cake.
Milwaukee coming up next, but at the end of the show, stick around. I'm trying all these, and I'll let you guys know just how they
Awesome.
taste.
All right, thank you.
Like that.
Fox.
Welcome back to Real Milwaukee. We've been hanging out all morning with Zymbiotics, this relatively new local company talking about naturally fermented foods. If you're interested in any of the recipes of the dishes we've shown you, or where to buy, fox6now.com, click on links. I will tell you this. I tried the carrot ginger balls. They were like dessert. Salad, great salad. I even did the regular kimchi, which was very light. I'd suggest that. And then the kimchi dip. Check it out, guys.
I
Wow.
will check it out.
Oh.
I gotta get it. The energy ball, bring one back.
Yeah, we can do
Just
that.
one.
And dips, everything's good.